My dear friends, today we reflect on the fourth commandment of the Decalogue. The commandment says, "Honor your father and mother, that your days may be long in the land which the Lord your God will give you." Exodus 20, verse 12, and Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 16. There is something special about the fourth commandment. The book of Exodus tells us that God wrote the Ten Commandments in 2 tablets. The fourth commandment is the first in the second tablet. And the fourth commandment is with a promise. The promise is that if you obey your parents, if you honor your parents, you will long live in the place which the Lord your God will give you. Unlike the first 2 commandments, the fourth commandment is expressed in positive terms. If the first 3 commandments are in relation to man and God in divine human relationship, the rest of the commandments, namely commandment number 4 to 10, are dealing with interhuman relationships, namely the relationships between man. The fourth commandment is placed in between these 2 sets of commandments. And it must be said that the fourth commandment is the one that is more often quoted or more often referred to in the Bible. There are about 11 or 12 references to the fourth commandment in the Bible. We do not have enough time to refer to or read all these references. I will just mention the text: Deuteronomy 5:16, Exodus 20:12, Proverb 1:8, 6:20, the book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 2 to 6, 12, 13 to 16, 7, 27, 28, or the book of Tobias, chapter 4, verse 3 to 4, Ephesians chapter 6, 1 to 3, and Colossians 3:20, Mark 7, 8 to 13, and its parallels in Matthew. In all these texts, reference is made to the fourth commandment, or fourth commandment itself is quoted. Jesus emphasized the importance of the fourth commandment against the ingenious manner in which the Pharisees substituted their traditions for God's commandment. In the letter to the Ephesians, the author addresses the children, saying, Children, obey your parents, honor your father and mother, that you may live long on earth. This commandment is not merely for the children, it concerns everyone. It demands honor, affection, and gratitude towards our parents, towards elders, towards leaders and teachers, etc., etc. Conversely, this commandment also includes duties of parents, employees, and leaders of the people. Observing the fourth commandment brings the reward of long life on earth. There are some beautiful sayings about respecting parents in the book of Proverbs and also in the book of Sirach. I shall mention just one or two of these. In the book of Sirach, it is said, filial respect is shown by true docility and obedience. The text says, my son, keep your father's commandments and forsake not your mother's teaching. And this we find actually in the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 20 to 22. In the book of Sirach, it is said, with all your heart, honor father, and do not forget the birth pangs of your mother. Remember that the parents brought you to life. What can you give back to them that equals their gift to you? Sirach chapter 7. Again, the book of Sirach, we read, whoever honors his father atones for his sins, and whoever glorifies his mother like one who lays upon treasure. Whoever honors his father will be honored by his own sons, etc. Sirach chapter 3, verse 2 to 6. As I mentioned, the parents also have their duty towards their children. Parents have the duty to educate their children. The right and duty of the parents to educate their children are inalienable and cannot be neglected. This education covers not only school education, but also education in moral life and in spiritual formation. In all this, the parents themselves must be the example to their children. The children must grow up in an atmosphere of peace, joy, and happiness at home. From a biblical point of view, all this is part of the fourth commandment. The responsibility, the obedience of the children to their parents, and parents' duty towards their children. Children, young or grown up, must always love, respect, and honor their parents. As long as they depend on their parents, they also have to obey them in everything. Again, parents who are aging or bedridden should be well looked after and cared for by the children. But this is not always happening in our society. There are some rich people who live away from their parents' home, and they come home once in a way, and their care for their parents is not full. In fact, the children grown up with Job, one will say to his brother, "You take the father, I take the mother." Now this is a division of the parents between the children. The parents who are married and lived long together are now being separated for convenience sake of the children. We cannot say that this is really fulfilling the fourth commandment, to honor parents, to obey them, to respect them. Again, there are others who, for the sake of their convenience, put their parents in a home for the aged. There are so many homes for the aged in Kerala. In the 14 districts of Kerala, there are so many homes for the aged, with at least 200 people as inmates. Once again, I'm not saying that this is completely wrong, but it falls short of fulfilling the fourth commandment in its entirety. Therefore, the children, whoever they are, must honor, must respect, must care for their parents who are old and sick in a way that also fulfills the requirements of the fourth commandment.